Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Namaste. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening on page 80, we're going to discuss the praise that removes the pin. So we put on this suit of armor, and we open the deadbolt lock, and now we have a security latch, a pin that goes up, sometimes they call it a shikel, a chain that goes over a hook and an eye, and then you stick a lock through it, and you can't open the door because the chain is tight. But it's a security pin, a privacy lock. No, it's not a privacy lock. It's a security lock, a double lock. Anyway, Om, presenting the respected mantras of the praise that removes the pin. The consciousness of infinite goodness is the seer. Anushtup, 32 syllables to the verse is the meter. The respected great goddess of all-pervading knowledge is the deity. For the satisfaction of the respected mother of the universe, this appendage of the 700 verses is applied in recitation. Now let's open up the safety latch. Om, we bow to the goddess who tears apart thought, Markandeya said. Om, pure body is his knowledge, and that means he is the embodiment of pure knowledge. And the three Vedas are the vision in his divine eyes. What does he see? The sun and the moon and the fire. He sees the three Vedas, Vedatraya. He is the cause of attaining the ultimate. We bow to him, who wears the half moon of the bliss of devotion, and whose hair is the moon shining brightly? Lord Shiva. One should understand the mantras that remove the pin. Whoever constantly recites all of these mantras obtains peace and security. And by all of these mantras, it could mean this entire Chandi pot. It could mean just the mantras that remove the pin. It could mean just the Nirvana mantra. But whoever always recites all of the above, he attains peace, or she attains security. Those who praise by means of this, O goddess, by means of the mantras of this hymn. Now he's more specific and more defined. By means of the mantras of this hymn, they attain the perfection of indifference, uchatan, to each and every object of existence. So they get this sense of udas. They become the servant of a circumstance.
How and they become udas?
They become by chanting the Chandi and by chanting the praise that removes the pin. When you open up the security latch, you get to open up the doors to the secret of the goddess. And once you enter into the doors of the secret of the goddess, you're in the Bhava zone.
How did the chain and lock, everything is ego.
These are ways of getting rid of the ego. I want to enter into the doorway which guards the secret. The cave where the secret is hidden has got a doorway on top of it and closing it. Remember Parvati when she entered into the doorway of Shiva's cave? And she had to have the Vilvapatra in order to make the ice melt. And then suddenly she could enter into the door and there was Lord Shiva. That wasn't because of ego. That was because of devotion. She had so much bhakti that she could dissolve her ego and open up the doors. So they attain the attainment of perfection of indifference, uchatan. You become udas, uchatan. You have boiragya. You have no attachment. You look at life without attachment. This is just the subject we were discussing before. Here is, we want to have vairagya, the freedom from all passion for having it my way, giving up the ego and living in the state of udas, the servant of circumstances, just as it is. I'm pleased. Everyone is doing the best that they think they can do, and I'm pleased with the circumstances. I accept the circumstances. So this is the way. By means of this, we achieve that state of uchatan, that state of vairagya, that state of udas, which means that I accept all of life, and this too will change. There is no mantra, no medicine, nor anything else known by which uchatan, this indifference to all, can be attained without repeated application. No matter what mantra you take, what oshud you can eat, whatever you want to eat, there's no pill you can take. I'm going to take it once and I'm going to have vairagya for the rest of my days. No way. You have to do sadhana. You have to have a disciplined approach to achieving the state of freedom from attachment. The great reliever, that's Shiva, perfects every doubt in the world and fills all with this for those who perform these mantras. So if you will open up the pin, if you will open the security latch by reciting these mantras, Shiva will fill it full of bliss for you. He made the praise of she who tears apart thought, and he made it secret. It's a mystery. It's not publicly advertised. You won't find it on a billboard driving down the highway. You have to look into the secret hiding place in your heart. You can't get it readily and easily. You have to look deeply inside. There is no end of its merit, and thus he attached a restraint. And the restraint is, he not only did he make it secret, but he attached conditions to learning it and to practicing it. You have to take away the curses and understand what you're going to do and why you're going to do it. What is your motivation for studying Chandi? You have to put on this suit of armor by remembering all the goddesses live in your body, and this is the embodiment of God. You have to open up the deadbolt lock by saying, please make me your disciple. Let me have your form. Let me have victory over this little ego. Let me have welfare, and let me destroy all enmity. Let's live in peace and harmony. We won't have any confrontation. And then he made the pin, the praise which opens up the security latch, and he said, all of this is conditioned upon, you'll get the bliss, and you'll get freedom from attachment, but you've got to do the sadhana in a disciplined, defined way, according to the prescribed system of worship. And thus he attached a restraint. There are conditions to it. And the conditions, there's no end to its merit. So you've got to do it according to the system proclaimed in the scripture. Whoever with full concentration of mind will meditate upon all of these, and that means all of it, as much of it as you choose to meditate upon. On the 14th and 8th days of the dark lunar fortnight, will undoubtedly attain bliss. So, Ashtamyam and Krishna Chaturdashyam, if you will meditate on all of this, on Ashtami and on Chaturdasi, you will undoubtedly attain bliss. I mean, all you have to do is look at your calendar and say, oh, Kai, Ashtami is coming of the Krishna Paksha. I get to do these mantras specially. You get a state of bliss right there. Just by making the intention that I'm going to study this material on these days. As one gives, so in return does one receive, and by no other means is she pleased. You're going to get the fruit of your karma. As you give, so you will receive. As you sow, so shall you reap. And this is the form of the pin by which it has been bound by the great God. Mahadev, the great God, has bound all of this sadhana and all of this knowledge and all of this bliss by one restraint, a condition. As you give, so you're going to get it. And don't think you're going to give a little and get a lot. And don't try and bargain. And don't try and negotiate with Mahadev.
All selfish.
All selfish. The person who constantly recites clearly removes the pin and becomes an attained one. That person joins the retinue of the goddess. Huh? He does. He gets to be with her and travel wherever she goes, and he gets to stay in the same building with her in the same house, and that person joins the retinue of the gods, and he becomes a celestial singer. He can sing nicely too. He learns obviously it's you. Who wherever such a person may move, or not move, they are free from fear. Neither would that person be subjected to untimely death, and upon leaving his or her body, that individual attains liberation. Having understood, one should commence and practice it. If you understand this, then you're going to begin this practice, and you're going to maintain this practice, and if by not performing it will perish. I stopped doing the cosmic puja for a while and I forgot the mantras.
No surprise.
No! But I started doing it again and I remember them. Again, by having understood comes fulfillment. As soon as you listen to this word, if it's true, as that word hits your ear and that message goes to your brain, Sravanam, Mananam, Nidit Asanam, you just feel good. And if the guru is one with wisdom and the disciple is one with wisdom, then the guru and the disciple are one. And we come into this harmony and this unity just by understanding. There's fulfillment. This is undertaken by those who know. All that is beautiful, or any other auspicious quality seen in women, is all the blessing of the divine, and therefore this goodness should be recited. Striyaha samastaha sakala jagasu. All women in the world reflect her attitude and her nature entirely. All women in the world, anything you see that's beautiful is the blessing of the divine. It's the attribute of the Divine Mother. That's what we see in Srima. The attributes of the Divine Mother. And therefore, this goodness should be recited. Great wealth is attained for those who recite in a moderate tone. And for those of higher tone, it is completely fulfilled. So if you chant it nicely and softly and quietly and pleasantly, you get great wealth. But if you belt it out from the top of your lungs, it is completely fulfilled. Therefore, it must be undertaken. Any way you do it. When the blessing of the Supreme Sovereign is welfare, health, fulfillment, the destruction of all enmity, and the ultimate liberation, why will not people sing her praise? Why not? Do you have any idea? Why wouldn't you sing the Chandi part? What more important things do we have to do with our lives? Well, there is a significant mystical tradition associated with the Kilakam that mother will reveal at a certain stage in the development of an aspirant. It includes the removal of the pin by which all these mantras of the Shakti have been bound, and the lifting of the curses that open the door to the secret. These are part of that body of doctrine of the Tantra that is generally held to be magic. And indeed, it most certainly is, but perhaps not in the ordinary sense as the public construes. As a consequence, the grammatical construction of these verses is obscure, and they have been variously translated in a number of sources consulted. And this rendering attempts to come as close as possible to the spirit and theme, but the meaning will become more clear after initiation in the Utkilan and Shapodwara mantras. And this we must determine for ourselves after having the experience, and it is recommended that our most respected gurus show the way to its attainment. Unfortunately, no other intellectual explanation will be of any further value. When you're in love, you know it. Somebody can tell you it's really fun to be in love.
The Swamiji Shapodwara mantra, Utkilan mantra, we need to do?
You need to do. Yes, you need to do. You want to remove the curses and understand that what it is I'm doing. All of these shapa vimochanam, and I'm remembering my goal, my plan, my purpose. Every chapter, who am I going to meet? Why am I going to meet them? With which bij mantra do I want to meet them? What is the underlying bhava of each chapter? What is the bij mantra, the mool mantra of each chapter? I'm going to learn that in the Brahmadi Shapa Vimochana. Which goddess will protect me in which place, and how do they all comprise this body to make a suit of armor for this disciple who is about to enter into the secret? This kavach is very important for me to recite. This orgala, I want to open up the deadbolt lock by remembering, please, you give me your form. Give me victory. Let me accomplish a victory over this little ego I who has so many attachments. He has so many other things of importance that are going on in his mind that he's not even able to pay attention, even when I ask the question. Give me yashodeki, give me welfare, and dvishodjaki. Destroy all enmity. Why should I raise my voice? Why should I come into confrontation? And now I want to open up the pin, and I want to remember that I'm going to get the fruit of my karma. Dadati pratigrinati jnanati shaprashidati itahang rupena kilena. This is the form of the pin. As you give, so you're going to get. And if you come to me with hostility, I might respond with hostility. And if you come to me with love, I just might melt there right in the chair. And if you come to me with understanding, then I will try to understand and we'll work together to make something that works for everybody. It's called negotiation, so that Shiva and Shakti can revolve around each other. And once you understand that, then that's the form of the pin. Now, if you take the initiation, you enter into the love affair. If you enter into the love affair, you enter into the bhava zone. If you enter into the bhava zone, you've got the intensity of love, the intensity of reality, the intensity of feeling that makes you, this Chandi Pat is not an intellectual exercise. This is something I'm feeling. This is my story. This is the story of me. And then these mantras come alive. And their meanings come alive. And it's no longer that my guru told me to do this and I'm doing it. It becomes, Mother, this is how much I love you. This is the way I want to show you my love. And so you can't understand that intellectually. You have to understand that with your heart. When your children come to you and invite you, you have to go with your heart. You can't just go with your mind. So this is the reason many people don't really understand what is this Kilakam about. And they've translated it in different ways because some people said, okay, we'll translate it intellectually. We'll translate it as a grammarian. I'm going to look up every word in the dictionary. Now, where are you going to find the intensity of my love affair with God in the dictionary? Where in the dictionary are they going to tell you how sweet is the sweet? And how delightful, how much bliss is in the bliss that I experience when I share with my beloved in the community, the communion of being together. All you have to do is understand and you're in bliss. That's not in the dictionary. And that's why various commentators have translated this and explained it in various ways. And I explained it this way. As you give, so you will receive. And this is the form of the pin. I'd like to move on to the Vedoktam Ratri Suktam, the praise of the Night of Duality from the Rig Veda. Om da-dum da-dum, presenting the meditation of the gods for the goddess of night. Now remember, she's the darkness of night, and she exposes the light. Kushika is the seer, Gayatri, 24 syllables to the verse is the meter. The goddess of night is the deity. This appendage to the presentation of the glory of the goddess is applied in recitation. Om, the night of duality gives individuality in many forms and times, perceivable by the divine power of sense. Were there no darkness, you couldn't see the light. If there was no duality, how could you see the unity? It's unity in diversity, and that's how we know there's a unity. When different people come together, they unite and become one. Instead of I, they become we. And in the same way, this goddess of darkness, this night of duality gives individuality. If there were no duality, how could there be individuals? You've got to have two in order to have individuals. In many forms, in many times, perceivable by the divine power of sense, you can see it. Individuality, coming from the duality. Omnipresent, immortal, the goddess of places high and low. Darkness is repelled by the light. When the light comes, the darkness departs. Remember when darkness went to God and said, God, why is the sun always chasing me around the earth? And God called the sun and said, why are you chasing darkness around the earth? She's tired, she never gets to rest, she never gets to sit down. Just say, why are you doing this? The son said, God, I never saw darkness. I promise if you bring her and show her to me, I won't chase her away. But I've never seen darkness. I only know the light. Darkness is repelled by the light. She gave definition to her sister, the dawning light. And the goddess who comes. She makes the dawn. Night turns into day. And the darkness departs. And the darkness departs. She is ours now. She's no other. She's ours. That goddess of darkness who exposes the light, she's ours. We're no longer afraid of her. She's no longer the goddess of ignorance. She's no longer the goddess of not knowing. She's no longer the goddess to fear. She's ours. She's our dear mother. The dark night. May we see her effortless, unimpaired movements upon the earth as a bird sees from its dwelling in a tree. Remember in the Rig Veda there are two birds. One was busy pecking at the fruits in the tree and the other merely sat. Can we see this goddess darkness like the bird who just sat in the tree? Without attachment, without qualification, as a servant of circumstances, I want to see this goddess just as she is. I don't want to change her. I don't want to make her something she is not. So I want to remain the witness. Aim ring clean chamundai viche. I want to be Che. I'll be the Chaitanya, the consciousness which witnesses, the Sakshi. I'll witness the evolution and the revolutions of all the creation and preservation and transformation, and it keeps moving on the stage of consciousness. That's me. I'm the consciousness who witnesses. For the entire host of humanity, for animals who traverse by foot, or birds who fly in the air, she is the object of desperate search. You want to know this goddess, because by knowing her, we free ourselves from all fear. We can live in the duality and be unafraid. We become unafraid. We become immortal. For all time. We know her. All she's going to do is expose the light. She's not going to harm us in any way. Drive away the wolves of confusion, dispel the wolves of egotism, the thieves, hunger, thirst, greed, illusion, grief, and death. Hey, goddess of darkness, you eradicate all fear. Eradicate all these wolves that are set upon devouring our conscious nature, our purity. The thieves who are stealing from us hunger, and that means hungering after things desire. Thirst, greed, selfishness, illusion, grief, and death. Then be to us the excellent crossing to wisdom. Let us cross to wisdom. Darkness, take us across. Take us across the ocean of the individual forms, the ocean, Sansar Samudra. That take us across this ocean of individuality and take us to the shores of wisdom where we see the unity in all the diversity. The all-pervasive darkness is near me, existing as individual forms in the blackness. O dawning light, dismiss this ignorance. Shine your light and there won't be any darkness. You never see darkness. Illuminate all the individual forms that are hiding in the darkness. Go ahead. Show them to me. I won't be afraid. Get rid of my ignorance. Get rid of my attachment. Get rid of my fear. O daughter of the heavens, You have been gratified as by a privileged cow. Here I am like a privileged cow being milked, and I'm only giving forth the nectar and the cream of the purest eulogy that I can sing in your honor. I'm giving you my sincere prayer. O Night of Duality, may this hymn be victorious. I want this hymn to be victorious. Let me praise you just like a cow feeds the cream of nectar, the nectar of immortal bliss to its owner. In the same way, squeeze me, O goddess, and let me pour forth the nectar of the hymns of bliss. And now, in chapter 1, Brahma was about to be devoured by too much and too little. And he knew he was an old man sitting in the lotus of consciousness, and he said, Vishnu, wake up. Vishnu was sleeping. Brahma said, Vishnu, wake up. And these guys are going to come and eat me. They're going to beat me. You're going to take over creation. They're going to make everybody servants of too much and too little. Vishnu didn't wake up. Then Brahma said, wait a minute here. I got to find a way to wake up Vishnu or I'm a goner. This creation is going to get completely overrun by too much and too little. He said, Vishnu's asleep. It must be the goddess of sleep. He's in the sleep of Yoga Nidra, the sleep of divine union. He can't even hear the creator of the universe shouting in his ear. I'm going to sing a hymn of praise to the divine mother in the form of the goddess of sleep and ask her to stop Vishnu sleeping. Wake him up! The revered one of brilliant light extolled the ruler of the universe, the creator of the perceivable world, the cause of evolution and devolution or involution, goddess of sleep, the unequaled energy of consciousness, and the creative capacity. Brahma said, hey mom, you are oblations of I am one with God, union with the divine fire. You are oblations of union with the ancestors. You are Swaha. I am one with God. You are Swada. You are my own support, my own lineage. You are oblations of purity and the consciousness of all sound. Hey, Mom. You are the eternal essence of all the letters and the consciousness of the three vowels. Aim, ring, claim, Brahma, Vishnu, all the threes. Ardha Mantratmikastita, you are the eternal half vowel or the anuswar, the sound of an atom. And its special mode of pronunciation, you know how we pronounce the anuswar, the sound of an atom, in where the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and throat unite. Right back in here, we get that special mode of pronunciation where you hear the nod, the vibration, the subtle vibration inside. Whoa. And it isn't what comes out that's important, it's what you hear inside, the special mode of pronunciation. You are the time of prayer. You are the 3 times of prayer. You are the 4 times of prayer. The sandhyas, the union between day and night, night and day, midday, morning and afternoon, night and morning, 4 times of prayer. You are the bearer of the light. You are the goddess above all beings born. The universe is sustained by you and the perceivable world is created by you. You protect what you create, O divine goddess, and you are the end for all. So everybody goes back to you ultimately. As the creator, you are the form of creation. As the form of circumstance, you are its maintenance. And then at the conclusion, as the form of dissolution of perceivable existence, you are the almighty measurement of being. You are Jagadmaya, the all the being in the universe. Jagadmaya. You are the measurement of all existence. You are the great knowledge, the great measurement, the great intellect, the great recollection, the great ignorance too, and your ladyship, the great goddess and the great source of strength. You are nature and the three qualities that you manifest in all, Sattva, Raja, Tamo. You are the night of time, the great night, and the night of ignorance. The three forms of night. The night of time into which all dissolve. You are the great night, which is Maharatri. And you are the night of Moha, the darkness of ignorance or egotistical attachment. You are prosperity and also respect. You are the consciousness of all. You are humility. You are the intellect and the goal of all knowledge. Modesty, increase, then complete satisfaction. You are peace and patient forgiveness. You bear the sword of wisdom and the pike of concentration, the club of articulation. When we sing the mantras, we hit those asuras over the head, and the discus of revolving time as you present a frightful form. You're terrifying to asuras. All the thoughts flee when they see you. In fact, they can't think of anything else but you. You bear the concha vibrations and the bow of determination and other weapons as well. Actually, all the thoughts got the boon that you're the only one who could defeat them. So I would appreciate your going to battle for us. You are mild and gentle and the ultimate of attractiveness and incomparable beauty. Above and beyond that, and even again superior, you are the supreme consciousness. You are Shiva. And you are Shiva. You are the feminine Shiva. You are the supreme consciousness Shiva. Whatsoever exists in thought or perception, whether true or untrue, the energy in everything, in all, is you. And then what can be sung of your praise? How do we praise you? You are the energy of everything, in everything, all, whether it's something true or something that's not true. I still think it, even if it's got energy. May have misplaced energy, but it's got energy, and your energy is there. If he who is the evolution, circumstance, and devolution of the perceivable world, that's he who embodies Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. He is subject to the sleep, that's Vishnu we're talking about. He is in the sleeping, that you have caused him to go to sleep. Then what can be sung in your praise if you put Vishnu to sleep? Then you're pretty powerful. You cause the maintaining capacity and dissolving capacities. That's the Vishnu, is the maintaining capacity. And dissolving capacity, that's Shiva. And myself as well. Brahma singing the song. Mm-hmm. To wear bodies. You make us wear bodies. Hence, for this reason and for this cause, who has sufficient ability to sing your praise? O divine goddess, you and your heavenly and bounteous manifestations have been extolled, cause the ignorance of egotism. This is Brahma's fault. It came with the creation. To fall upon those two thoughts so difficult to understand, too much and too little. I see too much and too little, I can't understand it. I think I've got to get more. I got to get rid of some. I'm attached. I got to stay where I'm at. I can't go to a new place. I got to do this because my conduct is mandated because of the ignorance of attachment. Because the egotism that Brahma has given inherent in the creation. Goddess, you cause these two thoughts, too much and too little, to be egotistical and to forget the reality. Awaken the consciousness of the master of the world and rouse him from sleep. Hey Mom, rouse that Vishnu. Make him rise from sleep and let him conquer these two great thoughts for me and beget wisdom. The wisdom that will free me from attachment and make me udas, make me a servant of circumstances. Make me realize that I'm free from too much and too little. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Namaste. Let's see if there are any questions. Yes, please.
So in the praise of the Night of Duality, it kind of sounds like we're praising Kali and seeing her as the goddess who is the duality. But then later, it kind of sounds like we bring in the dawning light to dismiss the ignorance. So it's like Gauri comes in, or what?
Gauri and Kali are sisters. We could say it in that way. But we're not actually praising Kali because this is a hymn to the darkness of night. It's not a hymn to Kali. Mm-hmm. You could try to portray it in that way, and it can be portrayed that way. But mostly, it's a hymn to all of the darkness that exposes the light. And we're not identifying it as a goddess. All of night is the goddess. It's not a form of the goddess. Mm-hmm. It's not a specific form like Gauri or like Kali. Yes, please.
How can we cultivate an attitude so that when that darkness comes, instead of trying to run away from it or push it away, we use it as an opportunity?
Absolutely. That's the purpose of praising her. That's why we're praising the darkness and saying, oh my God, you've come just in order for me to identify the individual forms in the duality, and now depart and illuminate the light. Thank you. Thank you for your seva. Drive away the wolves. Don't let me be devoured by unconsciousness. Yes, please.
We have a question from Nanda in San Jose.
Namaste, Nandama.
Dear Swamiji, are Vairagya and Udas one and the same?
No, they have some distinctions. Vairagya really means without any rag. And rag usually translates as, well, it translates as attachment, but it also translates as passion. As a specific desire, as an attachment to a specific desire, is my anurag. And vairagya means devoid of rag. So I have no attachment to a specific desire. Now, udas, u means the circumstance. A is the creation. U is the circumstance, mo is the culmination, the perfection. So U is circumstance and das is the servant. And udas means I'm the witness. I have no vairagya. I have no specific attachment. I watch. I'm the witness of all. So they are different in that way.
We have a question from Ambika in Princeton.
Namaste, Ambika Ma. Namaste, Sham.
Namaste. We are often told in the scriptures that if we chant with full concentration of mind, or something similar, we will attain complete benefits. What level is this concentration? Our personal capacity at any one moment in time, or is there a capacity goal level that we need to reach?
Ambika, the person who chants it completely with full concentration and full devotion is Lord Shiva. To the extent of our capacity, to the extent that we're capable, we aspire to that type of devotion. So no matter how much we're doing, we could do a little more. There's always more to do. Yes, please.
So the Kilakam, it's not necessarily, the mantras tell us what the Kilakam is, but the secret isn't necessarily in reciting the mantras. It's kind of like a, not just for the, well, if the Chandi is life, it's for everything, you know, life and the Chandi, or both, whatever you see it. It's that's what it is, and is that kind of like why it's not necessary to like chant in the Siddha pot? It's about knowing that you've given what...
No, the Siddha pot has evolved for people who are lazy. Lazy, good for nothing bums who only can spend an hour and a half. It's a lame excuse for a pot. So, but it's better than doing nothing. Now, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says if you recite one chapter, if you recite one verse, if you recite one word, if you recite one letter, you're going to get benefit. And Chandi says, start with a Siddha pot and work up to doing a whole pot, and then we're going to do a Samput pot, and then we're going to expand the Samputs, and you're going to make your recitation louder and longer and stronger and more dynamic until you're doing Chandi Patam Divaratrao Kuryade Badna Samshaya. You're going to do it day and night, 24/7. And you won't miss a breath. Now that's a Chandi pot. That's the goal. Yes, please.
Can you talk a little bit about the difference in benefit between these mantras that we're learning about in the 700 verses and chanting the cosmic puja every day?
Yes. Before you can do the Chandi pot, you should do the cosmic puja. So if you can do the cosmic puja, then you do the Chandi pot. If you can't do the cosmic puja, at least do some puja, and then do the Chandi pot. And then make the puja longer and lighter and brighter and stronger. And then make the pot longer and brighter and stronger. You will achieve perfection. That's the path. That's the tapasya. We're going to make it longer and lighter and brighter and stronger, and we're going to pay greater attention. We're going to have more bhavana, more love, more feeling, more understanding, more commitment to our goal, which is to become one with her and not have any other thought. For some of us. For others of us, our goal is different. Every one of us is going to define the goal in our own ways. And we'll act in accordance. And as you give, so shall you receive. And this is the form of the pin by which all of this has been bound. So if you want to give 1 hour of sadhana and say that's where I draw the line, I gave at the office, then that's the fruit that you will get. You will get the fruit of 1 hour of sadhana. You get blessed, and it's a good blessing. Do 1 hour, please. I'm not telling you not to do 1 hour of sadhana, but if you can do 2 hours of sadhana, that's even better. If you can do 4 hours of sadhana, that's even better. If you can do everything you do, day and night, as part of the sadhana, that's even better. You will get the fruit of your offering. What you give is what you get. This is the form of the pin by which all of this has been bound.
So you are saying that the pin is in the message and not the mantra.
Oh, it's both, in all of the above. It's in the mantra because the mantrayate is the mantra. It takes away your mind. Did you lose your mind?
I hope.
If you didn't lose your mind, then you didn't give enough. If you didn't give enough, you didn't pay enough attention. You've got too much, you've got too little, you're thinking about the world, you got a responsibility. I can't change that for us all, but we want to be aware. What is my goal? How much do I want to give? When I'm giving for 1 hour a day, do I want to be dreaming about what I saw on TV last night, or what I'm going to do tomorrow, or what am I going to wear to the party on Saturday, or what do I wear? Let's go buy some more stuff to give out. So we want to be there 100% when we're there. Can I be there 100% when I'm there? Obviously, that's a difficulty. Every time the mind steps out and says, I'm going roaming, I say, hey mind, come back here. Sit here. Please. Come back. Don't go out there. Come back here. This is the most beautiful mountaintop. This is the most beautiful scenery. This is the most quiet, a lonely, beautiful, conducive environment. Perfect for sadhana. Why will I think to leave it to go to the bazaar? My mind, come back here. Let me stay with you. Please.
We have a question from Moshami in Boulder.
Namaste, Moshami-ma.
Pranam. After many chantings of the Chandipat, can we one day spontaneously dismiss the ignorance of individual forms in the darkness? Or to achieve the oneness, should we have to also meditate on this bhava of oneness?
Oh, Moshami, I think that you're going to, the more you recite, the more you will meditate upon the concept of the darkness and how do I illuminate the light. And it just becomes swabhavic. When I was doing, personally, I was doing a very intense sadhana of chanting Chandi, maybe 10 hours a day after the cosmic puja. And I would teach a class on Chandi in the night. I would translate Chandi into Bengali or into Khichdi or some other language. And I'd take some food, I'd go to sleep for a couple of hours, and I would dream that I was doing the Chandipat. And I got it all day long, and I got it all night long, and pretty soon I didn't have any other thoughts, or any other calling, or any other desire, except, how do I keep doing this?
That was your Sankalpa.
That was my Sankalpa, Mother. And I just stayed there in one little temple, in one little compound, and I would go outside and take a bath, and I would come back in and lock the door. And that was my Sankalpa, and that was my rhythm of life, and that was my bhavana, there was the intensity of my reality. So, Moshami, I believe if you, as we expand the length and the breadth and the intensity and the feeling and the understanding and all the business of Chandi, it just stays with us more and more and more. So you begin to meditate upon it and act with her in your heart, no matter what you're going to do. It's for Chandi.
We have a question from Sharanya in Walnut Creek.
Namaste, Sharanyama.
What sort of initiation is required for the Utkilana and Shapodhara mantras? Is it given by the guru, or is the initiation spontaneously happen when we chant the Chandi?
Well, there are many kinds of initiations. I would suggest this initiation is given by a guru, and you'll get the real initiation when you fall so much in love with her that you give 100%, and you'll have a spontaneous initiation by her. But the guru is going to tell you and show you and give you the energy and give you the direction and just show you the example of how it's done and why it's done and where it's done and how does it work. And when you get all that information, you'll practice it. So there are many, many levels when that initiation from the Guru takes root in your heart. It blossoms into the beautiful experience, and that's where the real initiation takes place. Many levels of initiation.
We have a question from Dan.
Namaste, Dan.
Namaste. What is the direct connection between the Utkilana and Shapodhara mantras to the Kilaka Stotram?
All of the Utkilan, the Shapadvara, the Brahman, the Shapabhimochanam, they are all related. There are two Shapadvara mantras in this book. And there's one Shapabhimochanam. And when you remove the curses, you are empowered to open up the pin. You become very clear about your motivation. Why am I studying this material? What is my goal? What is my plan? Why am I doing this? With what energy, with what effort, with what intention am I doing this? Dan, as soon as you know the why, you can very easily decide how much do I need in order to do this. As soon as you know the why, you can say, how important is this to me? How important is this? Is it a little bit important, or is it really the substance of my life? Remember the disciple went to his guru and said, Guru, how do I pray to God? How much do I have to really want it in order for God to hear my prayer, understand that I'm sincere? Guru said, come with me, we'll go take a bath in the river. And they went down to the river and they took a bath, and they dunked under 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. And then the 3rd time the Guru held the disciple's head underneath the water. And the disciple started gasping and flailing and shouting. He couldn't breathe. And when he felt like he was going to give up completely and just die, the Guru grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and pulled him out of the water, and he went, ah! And the Guru said, how'd you feel? And the disciple said, I felt like I was going to die. I was gasping for my last breath. And Guru said, when you feel that way about God, you know that you're going to get darshan very soon. Yes, please.
Swamiji, in your own sadhana, is chanting the Chandi and doing the Sahasra Chandi Yagya always joyful? Or do you also have that longing, that painful longing for God?
Oh, you both. It's extremely joyful to have that painful longing. It's extremely joyful. Just think of the alternatives. You could long for the world. You could desire other stuff, which would really put you on the treadmill. You could desire, there's no end to desire. You could desire too much. You could desire to get rid of too little. It's joyful to have that longing. But what it translates into behavior, as it translates into behavior, you find a greater sense of urgency that I'm going to get up and I'm going to do the sadhana. I mean, it's not like you want to, or maybe I'll do it, or it might be cool to do it, or wouldn't it be nice if it's like this compelling necessity that says, get up. It's time to get up. And where are you going now? What are you going to do now? There's a compelling necessity. When I met my guru, I didn't have a road map, and he was in the gullies, and my feet knew the way. There was a compelling necessity. My feet knew where to go. The same thing, I get up in the morning and my feet want to take me to the Chandi, and I say, oh God, why don't you hang out in bed a little longer? Hey, it's only 1:30. Oh, okay, answer a couple of emails. Hey, it's 2 o'clock. Okay, get your butt over there and sit down. And sit down like you mean it. Sriman Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Nobody wants a lukewarm handshake. Sing it like you mean it. Like it's coming from your heart. It's joyous and it's painful at the same time. Oh, what sweet sorrow. Om Sarvam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.